The hospital room was silent, except for the steady beep of the monitor. Then the doctor spoke a name that hung in the air like a verdict, the only compatible donor on record. Ren Aoyama.
Ren, Aoyama, number. That can't be the boy I destroyed.
The scholarship student, the one who disappeared years ago.
Saya's past crashed into the sterile present. 10 years earlier, the name Ren was her favorite target. He entered Seiran Academy on a scholarship, his crooked tie and patched shirt a declaration of poverty.
Did you see his uniform? I think my maids use better rags.
Her laughter became a school anthem, and she made sure he heard every verse. After class, he stacked shelves at a convenience store for his mother's hospital bills. Saya called it amateur charity. Every day, a new humiliation, water on his desk, laughter in the hall, and Saya at the center, orchestrating the cruelty without touching a thing.
Pathetic. Some people are just born to be stepped on.
A charity gala to polish her family's image. Ren overheard Saya's plans in the hallway.
Her charity was a mask. What he didn't know was that he would be the centerpiece.
I'll finally teach that scholarship boy his place. The gala will be my stage.
She rehearsed in the empty ballroom, practicing the precise angle of her condescending smile. Double shifts bought the formal wear. Now he stood aching at the edge of the glittering hall. On the night of the gala, the venue shimmered with a cold, polished cruelty.
We must extend our grace to the less fortunate, like that poor scholarship student.
Something sharper than laughter was waiting tonight. He could feel it in the dismissive glances.
Some people are born to be pitied, and I'll make sure everyone remembers that.
The hall filled with the elite. Ren stood at the edge, in his borrowed suit, invisible yet marked. Saya ascended the stage, her smile a blade. Tonight, she announced, we celebrate compassion.
Take Ren, for instance. A student who can barely afford the roof over his head. Let us show him our generosity.
Ren's blood froze. He was no longer a spectator. He was the spectacle.
She's going to do it in front of everyone. This is the final act.
Ren, come forward. Accept this small token of our community's kindness.
Laughter rippled through the crowd like applause. Ren stood paralyzed, the envelope thrust toward him.
They're all in on it. I can't. I won't.
He didn't touch the envelope. It slipped from Saya's hand and landed at his feet. Then he walked.
Where's he going? I wasn't finished.
He vanished into the night. Saya clicked her tongue, annoyed. Her toy had broken too soon. He left a single sheet on his empty desk. I resign. No explanation. No forwarding address, Saya shrugged when she heard. Her toy had vanished. It barely warranted a second thought. 10 years folded away. Saya lounged in silk and scorn, the empire's heir, untouched by consequence. Then the first pain came, a dull, insistent throb, just below her ribs. The diagnosis landed with surgical precision, a rare, aggressive kidney failure. Without a transplant, she had months.
Test every relative. Use the national database. Find a match, any match.
The database churned through millions of records. Then it stopped on a single, perfect match. The file was stamped urgent, the name at the top. Ren Aoyama.
The scholarship boy who vanished. Find him. Use every resource. He is my daughter's only chance.
Saya sat in her sterile palace, the name ringing in her ears. The boy she had crushed was now her only thread to survival.
Find him. Pull every string. The Akira medical conglomerate doesn't forget debts.
Ren Aoyama had not vanished. He had merely built himself a world that never needed her name. His firm designed low-income housing, the kind of places he once couldn't afford. The certified letter arrived on a Tuesday. Rich cream paper, the Akira seal, it reeked of entitlement.
Akira. The name tastes like stale laughter and a spotlight I never asked for.
The letter begged for his kidney. Not an apology, a transaction. Your past suffering is now your obligation.
Go to hell.
The paper crinkled into a tight ball. He tossed it into the trash and returned to his blueprints. When the silence stretched into days, Saya understood. The request wasn't ignored, it was discarded.
He threw it away. Of course he did. I have to face him, myself.
She stood, but her body refused the command. The room tilted and crashed into black. The ambulance siren faded into the steady beep of monitors. The doctor's face told her there was no more time. Kidney function at 8%. The next episode might not permit a second chance.
The letter failed. You are the only one who can persuade him. Go. Beg if you must.
Those eyes, I can still see them. The contempt. I earned every bit of it.
The Akira name will not end with your shame. You will get in that car and beg.
She sat in the silence of her car, the engine idling. The weight of a decade pressed on her chest.
I destroyed him once. Now I am here to ask him to save me. What kind of monster does that make me?
The nameplate read Ren Aoyama, architect. A life built entirely without her. She raised her hand to knock. The door felt like a verdict.
Come in.
His voice was steel. He didn't look up from the blueprints spread across his desk.
He's not even going to look at me. I deserve that. Ren, I am dying. I know, I don't deserve your help, but please.
You want my kidney. Your father's letter was a command, not a request. After everything you did, you think I'd just hand it over? You made my life a living hell. Every day, a new humiliation. And now you ask for my organ. Number.
Please, I know I can't undo it, but I'll pay any price. I'll dedicate my life to making amends.
Your money means nothing to me. An apology 10 years ago might have mattered. Now, it's just words.
He turned his back. The guards approached, and she didn't resist.
Outside, the hallway seemed to spin. She leaned against the wall, her own words echoing. I deserved that, but I can't die yet. I have to try again.
The next morning, Saya returned before the office opened. This time, she didn't wait to be invited.
You, again. What do you think will be different this time?
I'll do anything. Sign over my inheritance, my name, whatever it takes to prove I've changed.
Ren didn't answer. He slowly pushed back his left sleeve, revealing a long, pale scar.
2 weeks after that gala, I tried to die. Your spotlight almost killed me.
That scar, I did that. I drove him to the edge of death.
She staggered backward, the weight of her past sins crushing her. The scar was a mirror reflecting her cruelty.
Now get out, and don't come back.
She stumbled into the hallway, the image of the scar seared into her memory.
I am a monster, but I can't give up. I have to find another way to atone.
In her empty apartment, Saya stared at her reflection. The face looking back was the one that had smiled during his humiliation.
If words aren't enough, maybe the world needs to see the truth.
She pressed record and began to strip away every layer of her pride.
My name is Saya Akira. When I was 16, I tortured a boy named Ren because he was poor. I made him a spectacle at a charity gala. I laughed while he stood drowning in shame.
She posted it without hesitation. For the first time, her face was bare of pretense. Across the city, Ren's phone lit up with the notification. He watched in silence, his expression unreadable.
Have you lost your mind? You've destroyed the Akira name.
I am destroying the lie, Father. For once, I am telling the truth.
The confession spread like fire. Comment sections flooded with outrage and support. But Ren remained silent. The phone call was not enough. Within the hour, Haruki Akira stormed into her apartment, his fury a physical force.
You will retract that video immediately, or you will no longer bear the Akira name.
Then I'll be no one. I won't hide behind lies anymore.
Then you are dead to me.
He left without another word. In the silence, her phone buzzed. The caller ID froze her blood. Ren Aoyama.
We need to talk. Tomorrow, the park near my office. No games.
I'll be there. Thank you, Ren.
She hung up, trembling. Hope and dread knotted in her chest. The next afternoon, she sat on a bench under an old oak tree, her kidney aching with every heartbeat. Ren arrived and sat at the far end of the bench. The real conversation was about to begin. Ren finally spoke. His voice was flat, but each word landed like a stone.
After that gala, I lost my scholarship. The academy said I brought negative attention. My mother had been fighting illness for years. Without the scholarship, I couldn't afford her medicine. She died holding my hand, telling me it wasn't my fault. But it was. It was your fault. I buried her alone in the rain. I was 17.
He turned back to her, eyes dry but burning with an old, undiminished fire.
You took my scholarship, my dignity, and my mother's life. Now you ask for my kidney.
His mother, she died because of me. I didn't just hurt him. I killed her.
Saya's legs gave way. She crumpled onto the bench, sobs tearing through her.
I killed his mother. How can I ever make this right?
There is one condition. You will dedicate your life and your entire inheritance to a foundation for the poor. No more charity galas, real change.
He pulled a thick document from his coat. Foundation proposals, budgets, legal clauses already prepared.
He's been planning this. It's not revenge, it's redemption. I'll do it. I'll sign everything over. No hesitation.
Before she could sign, the park path crunched under heavy footsteps. Haruki Akira stormed toward them, fury contorting his face.
Saya, you will not sign away what I built.
You disowned me, father. This is my life now. My reparation.
Without a further word, Saya turned her back on her father and signed. The pen scratched against the paper like a verdict. The entire trust fund, every asset, transferred irrevocably. Haruki stood frozen, his empire crumbling.
Then I'll start the medical evaluation. Don't make me regret this.
The blood work confirmed a tissue match, but Ren's medical history contained a hidden threat. The doctor tapped the file. Congenital cardiomyopathy. Nephrectomy could trigger fatal cardiac arrest.
You can't do this. If the surgery kills you, my life means nothing.
I am not doing this for you. I am doing it for the person you promised to become.
Before she could argue, agony ripped through her side. Saya collapsed, unconscious, before she hit the floor. Doctors rushed her into emergency. Her kidney function had dropped to 5%. She had weeks, not months. Ren stood by the window, then walked to the nurse's station. Give me the consent forms.
10 years ago, I tried to die for nothing. This time, I'll risk dying for something real.
He signed without hesitation, each stroke a quiet defiance against fate. A hospital bracelet now encircled his wrist. 2 lives, interlocked by cruelty and redemption, awaited the same dawn. The surgery was imminent. The night before surgery, Ren found Saya awake, staring at the ceiling. The silence between them had softened.
Can't sleep either.
If you die on that table, I'll never forgive myself. Not because I'll die, but because you'll be gone.
Ren sat on the edge of her bed. For the first time, the distance between them was measured in inches, not years.
I already forgave you. That wasn't for you. It was for me. Carrying hate was too heavy.
I'll build the foundation. I'll make sure your mother's name means something good in this world. I swear it.
He didn't pull away. For a long moment, they just breathed. No past, no debt. Just 2 people on the edge of forever. At dawn, orderlies came for them. They were wheeled down the same corridor, side by side, toward the same light.
This is my choice. Not revenge. Not obligation. Just peace.
The operating room doors opened onto a sterile light. The next heartbeat would change everything. The surgical team moved with silent precision. Gloved hands and bright lights, the first incision was a prayer. The scalpel traced a careful line across Ren's abdomen, revealing the kidney that would save Saya. Monitors beeped in steady rhythm. But above the orchestrated calm, something stirred. Ren's heart rate dropped. The monitor screamed a flat line. The room froze. Paddles pressed to his chest. A jolt. Then another. The line spiked, then found its rhythm. Breath returned. Ren's heart was beating again, fragile, but alive. While surgeons stabilized him, the harvested kidney was prepared for its new host. In the adjacent theater, Saya's failing organ was replaced with Ren's. The vessel sutured. Her monitor showed a steady pulse. Color returned to her cheeks as his kidney began to work. The transplant was complete. Both bodies, wounded but whole, settled into a guarded stillness. Saya surfaced through a morphine haze. Her lips formed a single, desperate word. Ren. The doctor's voice was steady. He's stable. His heart needed a shock, but it's beating. He's in the ICU.
I need to see him, now. Please.
They wheeled her through the cold corridor. Every bump sent pain through her, but she didn't care. Through the glass, Ren was pale, wired to machines. But his chest moved, a fragile, defiant rhythm. Then his eyes opened. They found her. A tremor of a smile and the slightest nod. Saya pressed her hand to the glass, sobs breaking free, tears of relief, not grief.
Thank you. I'll make this count. For your mother, for you.
Don't waste it.
The sun climbed over the skyline. The monitors kept beeping, but the air between them had shifted. It was no longer a tomb. A week later, in the hospital lounge, they sat down as two people who had finally stopped running from the past.
After I left the academy, I found construction work, then architecture. I build homes for people like me. Every wall I raise is a wall against the kind of world that let my mother die.
I've been studying public health projects. The foundation will start with 3 clinics in low-income neighborhoods. Your mother's name will be on the first one. Aoyama Hana Memorial Clinic.
Ren's jaw tightened, then released. A careful smile, the first she had ever earned.
That's good. She would have liked that.
On discharge day, they stood at the hospital steps. No crowds, no cameras, just a handshake and a quiet promise.
I'll send you the foundation's quarterly reports. You can hold me accountable.
I will. Don't make me come find you.
1 year later, the Aoyama Hana Memorial Clinic opened its doors in the neighborhood where Ren's mother had once lived.
My name is Saya Akira. Many of you know my past. I was a monster who tormented a boy because he was poor. That same boy gave me his kidney and a chance to be human again. This clinic is my first step toward repaying a debt I can never fully settle. To Ren Aoyama, who taught me that real wealth isn't money, but mercy, thank you.
From the back of the crowd, Ren watched. The plaque caught the light. In loving memory of Aoyama Hana. After the ceremony, they walked to a quiet corner behind the clinic. He extended his hand.
You kept your word.
Every brick of this place is an apology. I'll never stop building.
His nod was slow, but his eyes held a peace that 10 years of hatred had never given him. Cameras flashed as they shook hands, but the real exchange was in the silence that followed. Later that afternoon, Ren stood alone in the memorial garden. A small cherry tree shaded a stone bench and a brass plaque.
She never saw a garden this peaceful. Just a cramped apartment and hospital walls.
Footsteps on gravel. Saya approached, a single white lily in her hand. She knelt to place it at the base of the plaque.
I keep looking for the right words, but they never come. I am sorry for everything.
Ren kept his gaze on the plaque, but his voice was soft.
My mother had a saying. Hatred poisons the holder more than the target. It took me 10 years to understand it.
Do you think you can ever really forgive me? After everything.
He was silent for a long moment. A breeze stirred the cherry blossoms.
I am trying. That's more than I ever thought I'd say.
They stood together in the quiet garden, separated by the past but no longer chained to it. Months later, on a rooftop high above the city, Ren and Saya met again. The skyline stretched like an unread book.
I wanted you to see this first. The Foundation's annual report. 342 patients treated. 2 new clinics under construction. Your mother's name is on every receipt.
Reen flipped through the pages. Each number was a life. Each graph a bridge from the past.
You really did it.
Because you showed me how. Every brick, every patient, every saved life is a debt I'll never stop repaying.
He looked at her, not the woman who had ruined him, but the one who had rebuilt herself. And he smiled.
Thank you, Ren, for my second chance. For showing me that even the worst past can build the best future.
You gave it to yourself. I just opened a door.
They stood side by side, watching the sun sink below the horizon. The past would never disappear, but on that rooftop, it finally began to heal. The foundation blossomed. Clinics multiplied, serving thousands who once had nowhere to turn. Saya, once a queen of cruelty, now knelt in the garden, planting new life with her own hands. Each seed was a promise, each flower an apology. Ren visited often, not for praise, but to see the garden where his mother's memory lived. On the anniversary of the clinic's opening, a little girl, cancer-free, placed a lily by the plaque. Her small fingers brushed the letters. Aoyama Hana. She didn't know the story, but she knew the love. High above, on that same rooftop, Saya stood, watching the city heal. She no longer begged for forgiveness, she lived it. And in the soil of her past cruelty, a new garden grew. Not of shame, but of hope. Some debts are not repaid. They are transformed. The city awoke, drenched in gold. A new day stretched across the skyline, silent and full of possibility. On a rooftop high above the streets, two silhouettes stood against the dawn. They watched in silence. There was nothing left to say. The boy who had tried to end his life, and the girl who had nearly ended his, now stood as witnesses to a new beginning. Far below, in the memorial garden, a child placed a flower at a plaque reading, Aoyama Hana. The scent of lilies rose on the morning air. Some debts can only be repaid by living differently. The light grew, and the city came alive. On the rooftop, the two figures turned, their faces hidden, but their steps light, and the screen faded to black, leaving only the warmth of a promise kept.